Want to buy an Apple with an Intel processor? It's pucker. Welcome to Click. I'm Spencer Kelly. This week, we're going to throw caution to the wind and discuss the Apple Mac and the PC without getting angry or losing our temper. I hope.
When Apple launched the Intel-powered iMac, they changed the game. But are we now looking at the same computer in different clothes? Also, a computer that understands your emotions and enough speakers to make a lot of noise. Plus, Kate has info sites galore.
If there's one thing that's guaranteed to get you guys pounding away at your keyboards, it's the inappropriate use of the words Apple and Mac. That pounding sound is generally drowned out by a cacophonous howl if we dare to mention the word Windows in the same sentence. So it's with some trepidation that I'm introducing Chris Long with a look at how the Mac and Windows markets are possibly, maybe, sort of, converging.
Now, in 1859, Charles Darwin published The Evolution of the Species, and in it he described how he thought life on Earth developed, and he called that the survival of the fittest. A century and a half later, well, that idea is still causing a lot of controversy. But after 25 years of watching the little local difficulty between Microsoft and Apple, I'm suggesting a new chapter for Darwin's book. I'm suggesting, if you can't beat them, join them. Sorry? Oh, thank you. With a seriously innovative approach to computing and a user base that lives to embrace those innovations, Apple was able to deliver its own funky front end. Microsoft could only play catch-up. Not only did it not manufacture the hardware wasn't built to do graphics. All this time, the personal computer could never quite match the Mac's pictures. But still, the PC market exploded. There are now nearly 1 billion PCs being used these days, and only 3% of those are Apple's. So the computer market has evolved. We can now see PCs running beta versions of the new software Windows Vista. Some thought it was game over.
Today, we are introducing a Mac Mini with an Intel Core Solo. This is a single processor Intel chip inside the Mac Mini.
And with this next evolution, we have an Apple computer with an Intel processor and a brand new version of OS X to run on it. Then Apple flummoxed everyone by launching a program called Boot Camp that allows users to load Windows XP onto an Intel-powered Mac. The gauntlet had been thrown, and it was just a matter of time before OS X was loaded on a PC. This hacker will prefer to remain anonymous. I don't know who he's more scared of, Mac or PC users.
To install OS X doesn't require too much low-level knowledge. You certainly need to be familiar with making a partition on your drive and segmenting off your hard drive essentially to do a specific installation of OS X. As this is quite an enthusiast scene out there at the moment, putting OS X onto PCs, there's a lot of shared experience that one can find on the internet regarding that process.
So what have we got? We've got the Windows platform that runs XP, Vista and OS X. And we've got the Apple platform that runs OS X, XP and Vista. We've got the Windows platform based on the Intel chipset, and we've got the Apple platform based on the Intel chipset. Now there is a difference. I know there's a difference. I just can't see what it is.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, that's the then and now, but what about the future? Well, with me are users from both sides of the Mac-PC divide. Thank you. We're going to talk about the future of the platforms. Brian Glick is editor of Computing Magazine and long-time PC user, and Sam Downie is long-time Mac evangelist. Brian, first of all, what do you make of Apple's move to the Intel platform?
I think there was an inevitability about it, really. The whole personal computer market, the technology is becoming increasingly commoditized. Intel is much more of a mass market commodity provider of chips. IBM, as we've seen, isn't really interested in the mass market. It's already got out of the PC market itself. So I think there was an inevitability about the fact that the Mac would eventually go to Intel.
Sam?
When Apple announced that they were partnering with Intel, I found out that it was a great move by them. They were having several problems. Lots of consumers were expecting a G5 in a laptop, and because of heat problems, that wasn't going to happen. But the move to Intel has those heat problems have died down, faster machines, and also now the ability to run Windows.
Do you think it's a good thing that you can now run Windows, or do you think that your precious Macs are now soiled?
I think it's a good thing, because finally you'll be able to run the applications that you want to. For example, there's a lot of accounting software on the Windows side which won't make it to the Mac, unfortunately, but now people have that advantage and they can do that.
Okay guys, let's fast forward about 18 months. We're both used to seeing at this point Apple's booting Windows, PCs, booting OS X. Are we going to see a lot of dual booting going on, or are we going to see one of the two operating systems taking over? Brian?
I think you'll see PCs running Windows and Macs running OS X. I think you'll get some Mac users who will use the Windows capability there in order to be able to run some Windows applications that you can't get for the Mac. Personally, I can't honestly see that anybody who's familiar with the Windows environment is suddenly going to choose to use it on a Mac instead.
Okay, guys, finally, Sam, can you see yourself using Windows XP alongside OS X in the foreseeable future?
I mean, for me personally, I'll see. When I get that new MacBook Pro, I'll see.
Brian, will you be loading OS X to run alongside Windows XP anytime soon?
I think it's pretty unlikely, to be honest. You know, I've yet to find anything that I want to do on a PC that I can't really do one way or another.
Brian, Sam, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much. That was fascinating. I'm sure you'll agree these are interesting times. And thanks also for keeping it cool enough that I didn't have to use this anymore. Okay, I'm sure you're going to want your say on all this. What do you make of the XP, OS X, Apple, Intel situation? Email click@bbc.co.uk, and please don't forget to let us know what you think the personal computer market will look like in 18 months' time. Okay, let's bring it back to the present now with the latest technology news.